All right, we're gonna get started here. Um, let's see, we don't need pizza anymore. We're in a different layer. All right, hopefully you had a chance to look at the warm-up a bit. It is just looking at definitions, and again, if you are following along with our slideshow, they're kind of the first things we want to talk about. They are our reminders. So what is a unit rate? You should be thinking to yourself that a unit rate is right the cost of something. It's a comparison, right? It's still a ratio where your denominator is 1 of something. So it has a unit of 1 on the denominator there. In your proportion, again, you want to think of your proportion as two fractions that are equal to each other. And keep in mind that if this is true, then your cross products will be true. So again, if you want to put that into some things, you all know 1/2 and 3/6 are the same thing. 2 times 3 is the same thing as 1 times 6. And that's what a proportion is. So it's two fractions or two ratios that are equal to each other. So keep those things in mind. Again, if you are following along with the PowerPoint, your next problem is this one. And hopefully I'm in the right layer. Good, boom. So let's go ahead and look at this problem here. This problem is saying that Maya sees that a 12-ounce box of dried cranberries sells for $2.70 and a 15-ounce box of the same dried cranberries sells for $3.12. We want to know how these compare and which is the better buy. So for today we're going to look at what we did yesterday really, and then we're just going to take it one step further and look at some conclusions we can draw from what we know from yesterday. So first thing you're going to want to look at is, where are we? Is our ratios out of our problem. So let's pick out the important information here. So we know that, and let's do this in a couple different colors. Let's do the first set in blue because this is going to be a multi-step problem. There's going to be a lot to it. But Maya sees our 12-ounce box of dried cranberries sells for $2.70. So let's focus just on that right now, and we want to take that and make it a unit rate is what we want to do, because in order to compare these you need common denominators, so we might as well make the common denominator 1. In that case our ratio is either 12 ounces for $2.70, or you could look at it as $2.70 for 12 ounces. Now, which one is the question, like, which one is more important or appropriate for this problem? We want to know how prices compare. So down here it says prices compare. So we want to compare our prices. In that case, you want your prices to be on top and you want your ounces to be on the bottom. Yeah, Eli, we are gonna, you can use it as cross products, yeah. We're gonna do it the long way first though. Is there a Google Forms for the lesson? It is a Google Docs. It looks like this. We will be looking at this, and I'll do a couple of these with you, but basically I want you to tell me what the unit prices of each of these are, and then I want you to tell me which one is a better buy. So I'm going to ask you to compare the prices and decide what's a better buy, and then whichever one's the better buy, I want you to put in bold set type font. We'll look at those later though. Let's keep going with Maya here, but we do want to compare things with ounces, so you do want your unit rate as ounces on the bottom. So here, this is the one we want because we're going to compare prices for 1 ounce. So you want to take this and you want to make the unit rate of it, which you can do by setting up a proportion if you want, and just getting that denominator to be 1. So basically you're going to come over here and you're going to look 2.70 divided by 12, and you want it so that is 1. So we do have an unknown up here. If you want to solve it by proportions, you can, but it's probably easier to just be like, well, hey, here, I just divide this by 12, so I'm going to divide this by 12. And 270 divided by 12 gives you your unit rate. If you remember from a few weeks back, we were looking at the unit rate. So 270 divided by 12 is going to give you a 0.225 over 1. So this is money, and this is ounces, just like our beginning one. This is money, and this is ounces. So it does go with that. So the things we're comparing is on top. Yeah, you want to put what you're comparing on top. We want to compare prices, so we'll want to make sure prices are on top because our denominator is always going to be 1, and if we both have 1 of things, it's not going to compare too well because they're both 1. But our price is going to be what we compare. So here is the price per ounce for your dried cranberries if you bought the 12-ounce box. So we can remember blue as being 12 ounce, and we'll do the other one in red, and then we'll compare. So red, we're looking at a 15-ounce box, same dried cranberries, selling for $3.12. So in this case, we have the option of doing 15 ounces over 312 or 312 over 15 ounces. And in this case, you want, again, you want to be consistent with what you did up above, so you can do the same. You can think of it that way, but you also want to think that, hey, I want to know how much it costs for 1 ounce because I'm comparing prices. So I do want to use this one. How much does it cost for 1 ounce? So again, you're going to do the same thing you did kind of over there. You just divide it out. So you got what? 312 divided by 15. Again, you can set it up as a proportion, do it that way. You can use your things, but it's just a division problem. So 312 divided by 15 is giving me $0.208. And then once you get your unit rates, you just compare them. Again, the denominators are both the same, so you can throw those out, and you're looking at whether 2.08 for the 15-ounce box is a better buy compared to the 0.225 for the 12-ounce box, and that's clearly that this one costs more money because this is money. So this one costs more money. So the 12 ounce is more expensive. Probably going to run out of room. I don't know how much room I have here. Oh, I got plenty of room over here. So the 12-ounce one is more expensive. Therefore, 12-ounce costs $0.225 per ounce. 15-ounce costs 0.208 ounces per ounce, and the 15-ounce is cheaper, and therefore it's cheaper, and therefore a better buy. Yeah, Charlie, I'm going to start with the ones in your homework assignment here and see if we can get through them all in class. Just making sure you go through it. I will do it with proportions as well, if you want to set it up proportion-wise. However, the objective is technically to find the unit rate of things. But Eli brought it up, so you can do this with proportions. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to leave the answer there so you know what we're looking at there. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. And let's get rid of all this. Oh, I got rid of that too. It's not in a layer, is it? So just leaving the answer there, we'll see how it compares if we use proportions. For proportions, you can just set up your first original ratio, which is just, hey, we got 270 for 12 ounces. We want to see how that compares to, actually it's not going to be equal, we're just going to assume it's equal like we did yesterday. How does that compare to 312 over 15? That's ounces, that's dollars, that's ounces. And we just want to see how they compare. So what you're going to do is you can do your cross multiplication. So again, if I'm using the numerator, I'm going to stick with that one. So that's 312 times 12, and that's going to get you 3.12. So that's going to get you a 37.44. And if you take it the other way, that one, and again, you're using that numerator, so we're going to go with 12 point, that's 2 points, that's part of my dollar sign. That times 12, and in this case, you're going to be getting, oh, I'm sorry, not times 12, times 15. And in that case, you have 2.70 times 15 gives you 40.5. So even this one here is getting the larger number, which means it's more expensive. So in this case, you want the smaller one. So this one here is the better option because it is a smaller value than this one. Is there a way to find unit rate with proportions? Yes, there is. It's just more work. It's actually easier to just divide. I can do unit rate with a proportion real quick here for you. So we can take this off, and you have, I don't know, let's start with our normal one. I guess we are color coding this today. So let's use blue. I was already in blue. So 270 over 12, you want that equal to something with a denominator of 1, and this here is your unknown, so you just want to solve for your unknown. The easy way, again, it's easier to just divide this fraction because it's going to give you the same answer. But you can cross multiply with this. You can do 12 times x and get 12x. You can do 1 times 270, and they are equal to each other, which is just 2.70. And then you want to get x by itself, so you just divide each side by 12, divide by 12. 12s will cancel here, leaves you with x equals, and then your unit rate for that was what? 0.225. You get the same answer because you're doing the same math, so you might as well have just divided these right here, right? Because you're getting the same thing. But yeah, you can do unit rate with proportions. It is just a couple extra steps that aren't needed, but it's there. Any other questions about this problem in particular? A couple different ways to solve it, but basically you're finding the unit rate and then you're making a judgment based off of that unit rate. All right, let's look at another one. So these problems, like in your homework and that Google Forms that are there, and that's where I got this. So I am just looking right off that Google Forms, and we'll do a couple of them together. But we are looking for finding the unit price of each of them, and then you want to make a comparison. So we can get out of this layer. We can look at this one first, and again, different ways to find the unit rate. You want 4 envelopes for this much dollars. I want to know how many envelopes. Well, really, I want the unit price, so I want to know how much one envelope costs. So again, you can set it up as I'm comparing prices, so you want money on top. So $1.80. Don't know why I have colons in there from the thing, but oh well. $1.80 gives me 4 envelopes. That is the same thing as 1 envelope. Oops. Right, so what is the price of 1 envelope in this case? Again, you're just going to divide this out to get your unknown here. So 1.80 divided by 4, or you can do it however you set it up. But you're welcome to use the calculator as well, because we're not testing you on your ability to do division. So here, 1 envelope is going to cost 45 cents. Lyra, I don't really care which way you do it, as long as you get me the unit price and you can compare them. If you want to do cross multiplication, go right for it. It's however you want to figure out unit price. Believe it or not, math can be pretty creative, so you can find your own way even if you wanted to. Yeah, you can do it with cross products too. It's just you can end up doing the same math, so you might as well just divide it because you want the numerator of 1. But that gives you 4. If you want to do it cross products, then you're going to be doing 4x is equal to 1.8. And again, you're going to get this problem here. You're going to do divide this by 4, divide this by 4. Right? It's the same work either way. And x is going to equal 0.45. So our unit price is $0.45 per envelope for that one. Yeah, it's just a division problem. That's all you're doing for unit price is division. So I'll explain it with the next one anyway. So let's use red for this one. It's just division. Again, I want to compare price, so I put price on top. 240 divided by 6. What is 240 divided by 6? 2.40 divided by 6 gives you 40 cents. So your unit price is 40 cents per envelope. I mean, you just divide. If you want to do it with proportion, I can show you the proportion again, but again, you're going to end up doing the same division. In that case, you just want this to be over 1. So you would have a fraction here with this over 1. So you set it up the same way. 240 over 6 equals x over 1. 6 times x gives you 6x. 2.4 times 1 gives you 2.4. Divide that by 6, divide this by 6, x equals 0.4, which is still 40 cents. Yeah, I'll do a couple of them. Yeah, so then the next part is to figure out which one is the better deal. So you have red or blue to choose from here. While looking at it, which one's cheaper per envelope, and that's red. Red costs 40 cents per envelope, and blue costs 45 cents per envelope. So this one here is the winner. You want this guy. Yeah, Logan, that's what it is. It's probably what it's going to be for a few days here until I can figure out some other way to give you something a little more fun. But yeah, each day you're going to get a discussion question to respond to, and you're going to get some kind of practice to turn into me, whether it's through Google Forms or through Google Docs or something like that. But I'm fairly limited on what I can give you due to the fact that it needs to be processed on the computer and turned in through that. But yeah, so 6 envelopes for 240 is a better deal than 4 envelopes for 180. And I can do that. I can continue going if you need some more practice. Again, this is the first day we're kind of seeing these problems. I don't expect you to have it mastered by now. But we can continue going through them if you still have questions on them. Can you do the videos earlier, or do you have to do them at this time? I'm going to stick to this time really just because I'm doing 8th and 7th grade earlier, because that's when their math classes are. So that's what I do in the morning, and then here I am in the afternoon. Today's is a docs. What if you don't have your math notebook? The notes for this should be on the Google Classroom. And I am kind of reviewing what was already in your notebook. You probably should know how to write ratios by now, and you probably should know what unit rate is, but we just kind of reviewed that as well, so you should have that. Do you need to copy the slideshow? That's up to you. I'm never going to see it if you do, or if you don't. So it's up to you. I highly suggest that you at least follow along with me. Maybe not necessarily print out the slideshow and do it, but you can do it on a piece of paper in front of you and stuff like that. I'm not going to see whether you're taking notes or not. But yeah. Can we do the slides and not tune into the live stream? That's up to you. If you have questions about it, the live stream is going to be posted for later viewing anyways. I highly encourage you to be on the live stream because then you can actually ask me questions here and try these out in real time if you have questions on it. If you understand what's going on right now, you can go ahead and just go and do that and be done with it from there. But yeah, just get the Google Docs done and get the discussion done. I think it is in your best interest that you pay attention to the live stream, but again, I'm not gonna like dock your grade if you're not here. I did the cross products. We got a different unit price, but the same one on the same one. So on this one, if you do cross products, you're not going to get unit price. So if you want to set it up as comparison, it will tell you which one's the better buy, but you're not going to get unit price that way. So I can look at this with cross products if you want. Here you're looking at, whoa. $1.80 for 4 envelopes. Is that equal to $2.40 for 6 envelopes? They are not. We're still doing number one. I'll just look at it with cross products if you want to look at it this way. It will tell you the better buy. It's not going to tell you the unit price though. Here, when you do cross products, again, these really aren't equal. You're just assuming they're equal, so you can cross multiply. So 4 times 2.4, and again, you're sticking with this side. Say 2.4 times 4 gives you, what is that, 9.6 or something? 2.4 times 4 is 9.6. So the 9.6 goes with this fraction. Over here, you're doing 6 times 1.8. That gives you 10.8, and that's the larger one. So this one here is the better buy. So you're still getting this as the better buy. You're not getting your unit prices though. Do you have to know the unit price? Yes, please figure out the unit prices. That's half the lesson, Eli. And again, you get the unit price just by dividing. I mean, you can even just use a calculator. Right, to get the unit price of this, it's $2.40 divided by 6. Let's start with a new problem. I'll do number 2 with you guys too, and I'll show you how easy this is. It'll go quick. I just have to do it the long, hard way for you first. Let's delete this layer. Yeah, but those aren't unit rates, Lily. You got to figure out the unit rates. So do the division for it. I'll show you on this one. So this is the next problem. So here to get unit rates, so just getting unit rates, real simple. Okay, you want money on top because you're comparing prices. So you're just going to do $6 divided by 5. That's going to give you your unit rate. Those are more of reference numbers. I got to sit there and do it again. I'll do it again on this one here to figure that out, Eli. But here to get your unit rate, you're just going to do 6 divided by 5. So $6 divided by 5 gives you that 1.2. So your unit rate is $1.20. To get your second one, you're just doing 1440 divided by 12. And that also gives you 1.2. So in this case, one is not a better buy than the other because they're the same price. So they're both better buys, so you would highlight both of them. And both are the same when you compare. So the unit prices are equal. When you do that. Let's look at what your units for your cross products will actually be. Because it is a bit different than what you're probably thinking. I'll do it the long way. It is money because we are comparing prices. So it will, as long as it's whatever your numerator is going to be, it's actually money per song. But or the unit price is $1.20 because that's what unit price means. So when I say unit price equals $1.20, that means it's $1.20 per song. You don't actually need the per song part. But it's going to be like that. So if you do the cross products, it is actually finding common denominators is what you're actually doing. So what is our? You got $6 for 5 songs. when you do cross products compared to 1440 for 12 songs. So where do these numbers actually come from? What you're doing is you're doing this times your numerator. So you see that? So that what you're actually looking at is, hey, I want this times 12 as well and times 12 as well. So I get a denominator here of 60, and over here I get that value, whatever it was. 6 times 12 gives you 72 over 60 is what you're actually getting here. So it costs $72 for 60 songs. So that's where that 72 is coming from, is that 6 times the 12 here. Just finding common denominators with it. And for the red one, if you want to find common denominators with it, you're going to be multiplying this by 5. So you multiply that by 5 because that's where that comes from, 14.4 times the 5. In that case, you get oh yeah, I guess it's the same thing. So 72 over 12 times 5, which is 60. So that's where that 72 comes from. And that's 72 dollars for 60 songs, and that's how you know they're equal. So these actually are proportional. Let's see. Let's look at number 6. Charlie asked first. So here we have 16 bottles of water for $3.40. So our first one, we'll keep things with blue. So this is me doing it in blue. You have $3.04 over 16. You just divide it to get your unit rates. So 3.04 divided by 16 gives you 0.19. And this is dollars per bottle. So over here your unit price is 0.19 or 19 cents per bottle. And again, it says unit price, so it's implied that it has the per bottle there because it says unit price is 0.19. We'll do this one in red. Again, you just do 5.04 divided by 24. That equals $0.21 or cents. Yeah, 21 cents per bottle. So over here, your unit price is 0.21. And then you just compare it, which one is the better buy. You want to go with the smaller one. So this one here, that did not change my color. This one here is your better buy because it is the cheaper one. And then, let's see, Lyra wanted to do 4. Let's look at number 4. So there's number 4. Same deal, you want prices on top for these because we are comparing prices. Should you copy everything you write? No, you don't have to. As long as you understand how to do it, you're fine. But here we got $6 for 12 gift bags, so $6, and again this one's going to be blue. $6 for 12 gift bags. You just divide 6 divided by 12 gives you a half. So this is 50 cents for each. And then you have $28 I guess this is gift bags for 100 gift bags. And when you divide that, you just move your decimal point twice, once, twice. So this is 0.28. And then you compare your price, which one is cheaper. That is your better buy. I guess I didn't do that in red, but this one is your better buy. Any other questions on things? Let's see how things are going. You think you guys can handle the other ones on your own? For those of you that are still here, just some reminders of things that are coming up. Reminders. Reminders. 9 weeks. Close on Friday. 3/27. Get your science in. If you are missing anything on option C, that's what's due. I am not putting any more grades into it. John, I'll take your word for it. Just send me an email saying that, so I remember. I'm not going to ask you to do them over again. You might want to get a copy of somebody's from somewhere just for the test, because the test is also posted. Are quizzes actually due today or Friday? Can you get quizzes done by Friday, please? I would like everything for science on the 27th. Did you get my key terms and projects? I think I did, Lyra. Let me double check. See if I got that in for you. I have key terms, and I'm working on the Kahoot thing because I'm not sure I'll be able to view it too well either. Yeah, I still got to grade the quizzes. So if you did the quizzes, I still got to grade them. I just would prefer to grade all of them at the same time instead of grading one each day. Sarah, your test in science is at school. There's also a digital copy for you to fill out on the classroom, if you could get that filled out. At this point, feel free to use notes and stuff like that because no one's stopping you. So from here on out, there's technically everything's going to be open note until we get back to school. So the foreseeable future. What's that? And that's going to go for everybody. If you are missing a test or something, it is posted on the classroom in a Google Forms. It should grade it right away. And I just posted the rock test today, so that should be up as well. However, the rock test I am going to put on next 9 weeks just because I have a few people who are still getting computer issues and stuff like that worked out. Any other questions? If not, I don't know if you have something for Miss Holden at 2, but last time she told me was to keep reminding you about 2 o'clock. If she told you differently, then listen to her, but this is me reminding you about that. Don't forget to do your discussion as well. The rock test is on Google Forms. It's just like your other test. It is multiple choice, and it should grade it as soon as you are done. So it's like your other quizzes. I don't know if I can bring it up for you. No, you don't have to do that test today. It was just posted today. In fact, that test is going to be on the next 9 weeks, so you got some time before you need to get that done. Please don't attempt it until you're actually ready. So is everything due Friday? I would like whatever is on option C to be done by Friday. So right now everybody's grade I think can only go up for science at least. Whatever's on option C get done for Friday. The rest of the chapter work and further chapters will be the fourth quarter. You can unsubmit, Lily, and then bold it and submit it again. Yeah, Eli, I'm actually going to bring it up and show you what it looks like right here. Maybe. I gotta find out how to get to it. How much is a bag in the discussion question? Did I leave something out? So here, this is what your rock test looks like. It is multiple choice. It'll ask each question, click the right answer. When you're done, it should give you a grade. Anything that is missed, I will go back and double check personally anyways to see if it was my error or not, so be aware of that. But yeah, when you're done with rocks, that should be the last thing you're doing with rocks. I believe the key term quiz is already posted on there. Let's look at that discussion question. Yeah, you can do section assessments on Google Docs. There is a drop box for it. You can just type it up and drop it in there. Let's view the question. What's it say? Suppose a store advertises cherries for $5.99 per pound. Another store advertises $4.99 per bag. Can you decide which is a better buy? Now, there's enough answer there. There's enough information there, Charlie. What you're asking that question, that means probably you don't have enough information because you want more information there. So. What is chapter 6 going to be about? In science, hopefully I have that ready for Monday, but we're probably going to get into astronomy and go from there and see what that's going to take us. Is there any other questions? So make sure you're working on a little bit of science each day. Make sure you're getting your math in each day. Make sure you're keeping up with the other classes. I know it's weird, it's different. Make sure you get some exercise. Spend some time reading a book. Spend some time not reading a book if you're Hannah. And so on. I would like you to make a response to other people's answers. So when you look at the discussion question, you should be able to see other people, what they wrote. Say something about theirs. See if you have a question about their reasoning, things like that. That's a great question, Eli. It probably answers the discussion question for you. But yeah, just respond to them. What I really want you to do is I want you to take the time to read what other people wrote. I can understand this one not having the greatest responses to other people, but I do want you to take time to read what people wrote. And if you have an opinion to share with them, please respond to it. And again, I'd like all your discussions to be done by Friday as well. So each day, if you keep up with it, that way it gives you time to respond to other people that have responded to you even, and such like that. That might be true, Eli. You might have to respond first before you can see other people's responses. Yeah, Lily, you can unsubmit it. You have something bolded on all of them, but I can return it to you. It's returned now, Lily. You got to resubmit it. The paper you did with units, the one that we just did today, then yeah, that would be due today, or at least before class tomorrow. The assignment from yesterday should have been done by now. So if you didn't do yesterday's assignment, please get on that. And I'm not going to be taking points for things being late. I just need to make sure people are doing things, and if they're not, we're solving the computer issues, because we still have a couple people with computer issues out there. So math is going to be unlocking every day. You'll get a new assignment tomorrow. So Sarah, yeah, it says you haven't turned in yesterday's work either, so make sure you get on that. And if you have questions, you can email me and I can do some. And make sure you respond to the discussion questions as well. But yeah, it's really easy for me to actually just kind of record a quick video of me doing a problem. If you email me and say, hey, I don't understand this one, I can quickly record a problem, me doing it, and share it with you through the email. So that's not really an issue. Let's see. Did Lily turn it back in? Yes, Lily, you turned it back in. In fact, in all honesty, with the Google Docs, you don't have to turn that in, actually. I can see what you did, whether you did or not, whether you hit the turn in button or not. So if you do think you forgot you turned something in, it doesn't really matter. And then there's Charlie, who decides to highlight things instead of bold them. So with that, we've been on for going on an hour here. So if you have any other questions or further questions on things, feel free to email me. Like I just told, well, I guess everybody, if you do have questions on certain ones, you can email me. I'll make a quick little video just for you on how to do those problems and email it back. That really doesn't take long on my part. So just keep an eye on option C as I try to update it every day. I'd prefer you use drop boxes as opposed to just sharing things with me right now. It just keeps my email a little cleaner because everything is kind of broke there. I can't get your science website from the link on the STB website. That's because I never filled out the link on the STB website. I did send an email to everybody with it in it. Let me see here. I will attach the link again into the science classroom. So I'll do that right now, actually. All right, I posted the link in the classroom. You can just go in and get there from there. I highly suggest you bookmark it again. Just make your life easier when it's in there. All right, well, if you have any other questions, please feel free to email. That is probably the best way to get attached to me. I'm staring at it constantly unless I am away from my computer. But other than that, make sure you keep up with the math, keep up with the science. I plan on unlocking Chapter 6 for science next week if I get things done. But other than that, finish up Chapter 5 stuff. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow. So hang in there. Stay away from other people.